Good evening. Welcome back to In the Khud. This is 14th November 2022, 7:42 p.m. We're pretty late, and this is vlog 101, and I feel like this is the first ever. This is like day one. I mean, if you think about it, every single day is day one, but I'm so tired and so stressed right now. It's like almost having to drag myself to, even though it's like a button click away, all this lighting and this mic setup, it still is like there's a lot of resistance to get going. I don't know, but so I have to document 2 days. I'm gonna quickly do that because you already know that it's super late. I have to finish this. That's how life is. Like, schedules are just packed one after the other. It's like when we do UV unwrapping in Blender, there's this margin island, right? For me, that margin island between the things that I have planned for the day 0.001, and that is how I wanted my life to be. So I have no reason to complain at all. I'm just like stating a fact. I'm not complaining. Why is Notion not open? So I have to document 2 days, which is yesterday, Sunday, 13th November, and today. Yesterday I woke up at 7, took Snowy down. 13:30, resuming sincere follow along of Udemy course for the rig. So basically, if I have to conclude, yesterday the whole day was basic frustration and realization of the fact that I was thinking the entire click reflect animation thing where I would have a character in multiple profiles and everything completely rigged, and I would just be making click reflect animations every single week and be like a piece of cake. That is not the case. Even if doing rigging and everything and animation would at some point be easier, the initial process of getting the rig and having those characters in those multiple profiles and faces is very difficult. I have made like little progress on it, very little progress, but here's what I'm gonna show you. By the way, I did take FreePic Premium yesterday for a month. They have an option for a yearly thing, which is like 10,000 something. I avoided that. From FreePic, one thing that I really got nice was this lady in these different profiles, right? And this is a character I took from Rafiki from Story Set, and I was trying to recreate this whole thing. Now for rigging, the one thing that I understood is you need to have an ellipse right here in both these things, so that when we bring the structures in After Effects and try to rig it, we can take the anchor point of that structure and mark it exactly with the anchor point of this ellipse here. This is one big thing that I learned yesterday. Then we will have this seamless thing where in After Effects, when we place it here, there'll be nothing, like no problems, and even here there are actually no problems, but it'll be a little more flawless because it'll be exactly there in After Effects. That was one big thing I learned. Again, I have to make all these other things. The last thing I was doing was this. It's looking fine only, but yeah, that's where we are at with that situation. Toggle visibility of layers, Control Shift B. It's basically you get the bounding box. Control Shift B. Yeah, this bounding box was not coming, so small things I've learned. Coming to today, I woke up at 6 o'clock. Woke up as in dragged my soul out of the bed to this room to do the morning schedule. That's what I mean when I say woke up at 6 o'clock. Took Snowy down. I saw an epic CG Matter tutorial. He was making an eye with capillaries and everything, and it was all procedural. It was basically like the Arendel's advanced course, right? Where he's making those roots and trees and intricate organic structures. And CG Matter, he's just like without any organization, just randomly doing things. I mean, like, he's a next level badass. That's what we should call him. Blender badass. I was so heavy, like I wanted to work on this illustration bit a bit, but I was just very tired, so I went to sleep. Been working on the full-time job 3-year video, need to render out and send before 6:30 anyhow. It is currently rendering, saying 24 minutes. So the entirety of today was on this particular video. I had already worked a lot, like in that the entire template and everything. The major chunk of work today was taking a bunch of footage, like a lot of main film footage, a lot of BTS footage, combining it into a template that I made of my own, right? So I did download a template from Motion Array, and I studied how they're doing those slideshows and everything, basic mats and stuff moving here and there. I recreated those things myself because I don't want to use their template, right? They have these weird pre-coms for everything just to replace media, and I don't like that workflow. So I made my own things, like starting with rectangle layers and dividing the screen into 2, dividing them into 3, then bringing them position in, scale in, everything. And then I simply brought in the footage and alpha matted. Now with my past experience of freelancing, I know that After Effects is very bad at handling footage, like extremely bad. So all the footage that I did put in, I made a proxy for that. So if the footage was actually a GB big, I made a proxy which was like 4 or 5 MB for it. Pretty low bitrate. But even then there was so much footage that like just before hitting render right now, the moment I would open After Effects and even move like one layer on or off, like a simple operation like that, After Effects would go not responding. So in conclusion, the only thing that I can make out is if you want to use After Effects with a lot of footage, firstly don't use After Effects with a lot of footage, even if it's proxy files. What the best solution I can come up is if it's a 4-minute or 2.5-3 minute video like this, divide it into smaller chunks and then take those compositions and put it inside Premiere or those individual projects and put it on your Premiere timeline. So when you want to make changes to one particular thing, you just go into the After Effects project of that particular thing and not into the After Effects project of the whole thing, which has like 20 different templates running inside it. That becomes very, very difficult for After Effects to deal with. Which, thinking about it, I don't quite know if After Effects was actually designed to be used in the way that I'm using it. It's like basic motion graphics and video editing. That's what it is. Premiere clearly is not made for things like these. If After Effects is not supposed to be doing it, Adobe, what is the solution? Yeah, I really need a software like a combination of Adobe After Effects and Adobe Premiere Pro, which has best of both the worlds. But for the time being, we'll have to just do with whatever we have at our disposal, and we're hitting under 8 minutes. So I need a system, a script which does all of these things for me, right? Horizontal footage lying one on top of the other, mask comes down from top, reveals one after the other, easing starts super fast, all this templates making shouldn't be done by hand every single time. There should be a script where you press a button and things just happen. At least the positioning X and Y up and down should be happening through a script, which is something I will work on. That's it for today's documentation. Thank you so much for being in the khud. I will catch you tomorrow. Peace.